Shalom, all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Bahasham Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, pushing this 100% truth of the gospel, waking up and sealing the elect of the nation of Israel through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh. And salutations to your sincere alchemists that are pushing this gospel in righteousness and sincerity, risking your lives and your freedom to do so. Alright, so another Daily Mail article. I'm not surprised they're going into Maxine, and I have people getting allergic reactions, from getting this jab, and showing all kinds of side effects. Okay, to no one's surprise, but the irony is not lost on me of how this medicine that was created to ward off, the infection. Okay, it's now actually making people sick. That right there is, and that right there is actually extremely laughable. So let me just go into this article, and I also wanted to talk about that, because these, it's not just these infections vaccine. There's also other vaccines as well have the same side effects. I've forgotten what it's called, but it's actually a medical condition in which these chemicals that they put in these medicines, can cause an allergic reaction in a lot of people. In a lot of people. I've forgotten what they actually call it. You have to be very for that. So also a reason not to be taking these vaccines, because they can very much cause harm. Right, not just allergic reactions, but actual diseases in your system. So let me just quickly read a little bit of this article, and let me just read quickly a little bit of this article, and it reads: warning over UK's vaccine rollouts as two NHS staff giving jab suffer anaphylactoid reaction. Regulators urge people with history of significant allergies not to have the injection just 24 hours after Britain's mass inoculation kicked off. Okay, so basically what the anaphylactoid reaction is it's just a fancy way of saying an allergic reaction. It is, when some people eat them, and this is mostly happens in Babylon. I've never seen something like that happen here in Africa. But basically, when some people eat, peanuts, how their throats, they start when they get a bee sting, they start experiencing swellings. Like for example, now either your throat closes up, or wherever you are stung starts swelling up uncontrollably. Those are examples of this anaphylactoid reaction. And just to prove a point, I'm still going to Google it anyway. Anaphylact. Yeah, I already have it. Anaphylactoid reaction. Just to Google it, just to bring it out. And then let's make doubly sure. Okay. So let me just get the definition of it. Alright, so this is the definition of anaphylactoid reaction. An anaphylactoid reaction. Okay, trying to look for one that's actually English. But anyway, let me just read this. Let me just read the top. Anaphylactoid reaction is a reaction resembling. Okay, no. So yeah, let me look for one that comes that one that is written in a layman's term. Let me just type in definition. Maybe to bring out something that's in that is written in layman's terms. Basically, I already even actually got into the definition, but I just wanted to get a formal definition. Just to bring out a formal definition. But all these definitions are not actually in layman's term. It's all okay. Let me just use this. Let me just use this one. Anaphylaxis. Let me just read this. Let me just settle with this one. Anaphylaxis is a severe, potentially life-threatening allergic reaction. It can occur within seconds or minutes of exposure to something you're allergic to, such as peanuts or bee stings. Anaphylaxis causes your immune system to release a flood of chemicals that can cause you to go into shock. Your blood pressure drops suddenly and your airways narrow, blocking breathing. Signs and symptoms include rapid pulse, rapid a rapid weak pulse, okay, a skin rash, and nausea and vomiting. Common triggers include certain foods, some medications, insect venom, and latex. So basically, what you have here is that there's something in this vaccine that can trigger many, allergic reactions from different individuals. But once and this preset has been coming out a lot, but in this situation, it is super fitting. So let me get that. And actually, I have another article to go into. I'm just going to get this. Let me get this preset first and foremost. Because here you have Esau making a so-called medicine. Say that that has a 95% success rate allegedly, but just the first day of the trials of that medicine, of this medicine, and we've already seen this happen before. When they were testing out this medicine in the earlier this year, you saw how people even dying from these allergic reactions. You have people even dying from these reactions. You have people going through all these side effects, and now you see it happening even still up to this day. And it should not come as a surprise to you, because this is exactly what you would expect from this devil's medicine. So this is the book of Job 13 verse 4. But ye are forgers of lies, ye are all physicians of no value. Okay, so and that is plain right there, forging lies, and let me get that, because that the first article I went into showed you that they were physicians of no value, because they created a medicine that instead of healing you, it gave you even more infections. So if you had somebody that did not have this, infection, this Crown Royal now goes and takes this vaccine, he could actually die from taking the vaccine, whilst the Crown Royal, the actual disease that they are trying to prevent has a 1% death rate. Maybe I should even go into the the death rate for this allergic reaction. Death rates for anaphylaxis. Let me go in. Let's just check this out to see. Okay, to see which is more deadly. Let's see. Just pick the first article. I'll pick the first article. Just pick the first article I see, since I don't actually have, actual experience in this matter. So what it really says here is that up to 5% of the U.S. population has suffered anaphylaxis. Fatal outcome is rare, such that even for people with known venom or food allergy, fatal anaphylaxis constitutes less than 1% of total mortality risk. Okay, so it's not that. Okay, so it's probably about as deadly as this actual, infection. But it doesn't change the fact that these jabs they are giving you is actually making you sick. And if you are someone that is asymptomatic, or does not have any, or does not get any symptoms of this disease, that right there, they can cause a lot of problems in your system. But anyway, let me go into another article very quickly. Okay, so going into the article, Britain will need lockdowns until March, even with vaccines, Professor Chris Whitty warns. But there are likely to be 3 or 4 more C19 jabs in use by the middle of next year. Alright, so you see that first and foremost, the vaccinations aren't even over. This is just like basically the first wave. But even after all the talk of how, until everybody gets vaccinated until everybody gets vaccinated, and until all this and all that happens, the what's what I'm looking for, the businesses aren't going to open, the lockdowns aren't going to stop. But you have a situation where they still want to continue on even after. They still want to continue on with the lockdown even after these vaccinations have what, even after everybody has been vaccinated. So let me go into a little bit of this article, and it reads: Chief Medical Officer said not enough Brits will have been jabbed in 3 months. He urged people not to let their guard down now a vaccine has been approved. which is said, I want to be clear for next 3 months, you won't have protection. And it reads that Britain will still remain in some form of lockdown until at least March, despite the rollout of C19 vaccines, Professor Chris Whitty has warned. So he had you people believe in this vaccine was your ticket back to normalcy. Now you take it and poof, no more COVID, no more lockdowns, no more worrying about sickness, and now you can continue everyday life. So that was a lie. So now you have a medicine that does none of these things. It does none of the things that it was promised to do. But you are still going to have to take it according to this devil anyway. So let me get another. So okay, let me get another precept. The book of Proverbs, the 16th chapter. Alright, and the 25th verse, and it reads, Proverbs 16 verse 25. There is a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. Okay, and here you have talk of a lockdown up and until late March to early April. And the only thing I can say is that this is prophecy. We already told you these things. They already told you about these things. You can never go back to normal. Things will never be the same again. This is the new normal, and it's funny because now if you think about it, the Yahweh Hashem Yahushua keeps exposing these devils and giving you people, especially you Israelites, ample reason not to take this vaccine. But you still have a lot of people that just don't care. Okay. In their own eyes, their way is right, but this is what the end leads to. Death and the death. Even if you take the vaccine, there is no guarantee that first and foremost, there's no guarantee that you'll even be cured of. That it will even help you. It will even protect you from this infection. And there's also no guarantee that it won't even give you other complications, or other infections, because you see all the you see all the information that is coming out about this vaccine, how it's not safe yet for you to take, how all the dangers that are aligned with it. Okay, so at this point, if you are still willing to take this, jab, man, there's apparently no going back for you. To go from here, and they'll probably keep this up until the chip is ready to roll out, and then they'll probably say the exact same thing, that we'll release the restrictions, we'll stop, we'll release the restrictions, we'll open up businesses and all that if you take this chip. Since you already took the vaccine, just take the chip. All you just need to just convert all those vaccination stations into chipping stations, and it's easy like that. And since he has already conditioned these people with these max, jabbings, the next thing is that don't jab yourself with this medicine anymore, but jab yourself with this chip instead. And that's probably how it will start out, because these devils, man, they never had any plans to go back to normal. Okay, their only intention is to move forward with their agenda, and I already told you all about this. That they're looking for, they're looking to what's what I'm looking for. They're looking to start this their new world agenda. The great reset, as they call it. Okay, they won't open anything back up. Their intention is to collapse this society, collapse. Alright, the economy, and opening up the economy would be the exact opposite of that which is their intention. Okay, so basically to set it into their dream society, going into the principles of the new world order, and the Georgia Guidestones, and we know what those speaks of, to create a one world government, where everybody else that earns the elite live in perpetual servitude, to depopulate the planet, which is why, once again, another reason not to take these vaccines, because it's definitely going to these vaccines are definitely going to end up killing a lot of people. Okay, so this video is probably going to get taken down, and I just had that strange feeling in my gut. But anyway, I'm still going to post it up, just in case the Lord willing doesn't get taken down. But this is their intention, to create a kingdom of heaven on the left hand side, because when you look at everything that they are doing, you see that what they are doing is trying to fulfill prophecy. They're trying to fulfill the prophecy of the kingdom on the left hand side, using all the their left hand witchcraft and their deceits. And that brings me to my final precept, and I'm probably going to close up with this. I had no intention of making this video long. Just wanted to bring out a little something about this Maxine, since that is since that is the latest it is the latest bit of prophecy to come to pass. So this is the book of Daniel chapter 8 verse 25. And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. So this right there tells you exactly how Esau's great reset, his new world order, will turn out. Okay, because that and I don't really need to go into that because that was plain. So I'm just going to end it there. I just wanted to bring it out that no matter what you do in this kingdom, and prophecy will still stand and it will keep on moving forward. So anyway, with that, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahwashai, Ba'asham Rachak Wadash, Wa Abad Babal. Alright, Shalom.